wonderful maybe edition of your favorite lunchtime program, The Heat on Cool 91.9. Yes, as usual, the heat comes away Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. and that's 12 to 1:30 p.m. Welcome to the heat. What a wonderful way to welcome all of you folks. Good afternoon to all of you in Liberia, across the world. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Based on your location, it's a pleasant way to say welcome, folks. And together we're gonna have a wonderful time up until 1 p.m. this afternoon. But this is your lunchtime program, The Heat on Cool 91.9. And I'm sitting in for your usual presenter, the hot man himself, J. Natana B. Vine Sr., and I'm WEEKIE Brooklyn Brooks. Yes, indeed. No matter how long the night, it promises to be great today, stimulating, thought provocative, as we talk all of the issues. This wonderful. We bring you the headlines, making news in Liberia, and we'll move across the world as usual. Ask somebody to join you. Leave your comment on our cool online page this afternoon. We'll certainly read it out for you. And together, we're going to have a wonderful presentation. Welcome to it and have a good day. Good afternoon to our motorcyclists and passengers. Good afternoon to all of you. The geometry must be kept off the hook. Because certainly those who come with clean hands must come with nothing called iniquity. Thank you so much. Welcome this fall. Starting up with the headlines in Liberia this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, the third day in the month of, the 31st day in the month of March. Tomorrow is April 1. Action by the Liberia Telecommunication Authority to introduce additional surcharges, regulatory fees on voice and on-night internet call and mobile data services is expected to increase the cost of rising in the midst of a struggling community. In a rather ambiguous release, the LTA said it has agreed with mobile network operators in Liberia a minimum on regulatory fees instead of surcharges. So folks, on tomorrow, get ready. You will have to pay the high price of brass and making calls as well. Ellen Cochran sued in the USA for bank fraud after receiving US $6 million from government payroll protection program. Nearly a year after Flame Justice System in Liberia dropped charges against one of the most controversial figures of the Ellen government, the justice system in the United States of America has nailed Ellen Cochran for fraud. In charge filed by the U.S. Justice State Department, Cochran is being charged with a bank fraud in the U.S. aid for fraudulently requesting U.S. $7.9 million, which $6 million was received from the government payroll protection program. Senators on Tuesday debated a report from the Joint on Ways, Means, Finance, Judiciary, Banking, and Currency and Judiciary, who reported recommending that the Senate plenary concurred with the House of Representatives in giving authorization to the Central Bank of Liberia to print a new future of Liberian dollars banknotes. From the debate, it was glaring that all senators are in support of giving the central bank authority to print banknotes. However, their consistency appeared to be full of concerns and observations which have been getting the attention of committee members. Economic and other activities came to a standstill Tuesday, 30th March in Maryland County, southeast Liberia is as a riot intensified there amidst angry citizens demand for the speedy trial of 18-year-old suspect Moses Moment, who is accused of murdering 22-year-old motorcyclist Madicious Human last Thursday. This too is Liberia. Boto Cannon funded the certificate that paid tribute to women of Liberia for support. The National Elections Commission on Tuesday certificated Senator-elect Boto Cannon as winner of the December 8, 2020 election in Bapolo County. Cannon's certification comes days after Supreme Court mandated the NEC to do so. Mother Cannon was certificated along with Mr. Wellington G. Smith of Riverside County, both of whom have had a rough road to the Senate. What will they do at the Senate? We watch and see. FDA dispatches fact-finding mission out believe that the culprit is a him or not it because of the report coming said it that allegedly raped a child. A 48-month-old girl who is believed to have been raped by a chimpanzee is reported to be in a traumatic distress as she runs away from stigmatization coming to her setback. The alleged incident took place on Thursday. March 25 in Tople, a village near the cocoa palm plantation in Nimba Electoral District number 8. Chimpanzee is reportedly alleged to have raped a child. 48-month-old. Vehicle vendors threaten protest action against NEC over 1 million debt. The National Elections Commission has been threatened with protest action against huge debt of 1 million for using vehicle belonging to private vendors. Several agree Liberia entrepreneurs who render vehicle rental services to the National Elections Commission for the conduct of the December 8, 2022 elections across the country are threatened to stage a peaceful protest due to the delay in the payment of US 1 million debt owed them by the Commission. The aggrieved Liberia entrepreneur under the banner vehicle rental vendor claimed that since the climax of their contract was signed with the National Elections Commission prior to the conduct of the senatorial election, the Commission is yet to settle their arrears. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and the European Union delegation to Liberia will host a two-day policy dialogue aimed at reviewing the portfolio on the European Union initiative in Liberia from March 31 to April 1. The EU portfolio review aims to create a policy dialogue, the part that is effort to improve the aid transparency and effectiveness through government decision making. Senators from the large political parties I resolve not to sign the resolution to print Liberia 48 billion new family banknotes until certain demands are settled. The opposition senators' demands led to the postponement of the passage of a resolution to print the Liberian dollar requested by the Central Bank of Liberia. The CPP senators who took the decision include Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence of Grand Bassa County, April David de la Mosserado County, Prince Kemumoy of Bon County, Diana 10 of Bapolo County, Jerry Tom Borchard Sigme of River G, and Commander Wizards as well of River G. The CPP senators said they insisted on having a report in 24 hours before a debate and is held in resolving printing of the money, noting that the resolution to print requires two-thirds majority, not a simple majority, because this is a constitutional matter. And that's why we asked the National Elections Commission, where are the rest of the other senators? Kinjor, Grand Cape County. President Weah told citizens of Kinjor in Grand Cape County that his actual plan to develop the country will be unveiled during his second term in office. Yes, the president said he will actually reveal his plan of developing Liberia during his second term in country, so you need to re-elect him. Speaking in King George Saturday as he wrapped up his tour in the district, President we are reminding citizens that his regime has 3 more years to convince them that it's able to develop Liberia. According to the president, he said, we have 3 more years to convince you so you can give us second term so that we can complete our work, the president said to the cheers of excited cry dominated by youths. And moving out of Liberia before we just come back, the Jacoba 10th food ahead of inauguration. The presidential palace is attacked 2 days before the nation's first democratic handover of firearms. A high court in Tanzania has sentenced a blogger and her husband to life imprisonment for drug trafficking. Shima Mashai runs a faction blog YouTube channel. She was arrested together with her husband Abdul Nembu at the home in Dar es Salaam. They were allegedly found with heroin and 2 charged in court and denied the bill. Major roads in Somalia capital Mogadishu were closed on Wednesday morning, and security officers deployed ahead of the resumption of the parliamentary session amid heightened fears that lawmakers could pass a vote to extend President Mohamed Fatmo's term on and online. The parliamentary unit was turned along with Dhaka Junction 2 in the Djibouti movement, blocking entry to parliamentary buildings, and Somalia's the presidential party calls for that. Some civil society groups in Kenya have threatened to protest against the tough restriction to control the spread of coronavirus. President Yoweri Kaunda last week banned all inland travel in and out of the counties, including the capital Nairobi, to stop the spread of COVID-19. He also banned the sale of alcohol in these areas and restricted restaurants to providing takeaways. Mozambican troops are carrying out what they call a cleansing and manhunt operation against militant Islamists who had carried a massive assault on the coastal town of Palma last week. It involves tracking down the identity of each person in the town and the reason for their presence there. Army spokesman Brad Konugi said dozens of people, both local and foreigners, were killed, thousands displaced, and vital infrastructure destroyed during the day-long raid in Palma by the militants. Central African Republic President Festus Achaj and Tunisia was sworn in on Wednesday in a ceremony attended by foreign dignitaries in the capital Banjul. President Tonyu was re-elected for a second term on December 27, 2020. The swearing ceremony was held at a national assembly. It was attended among others the African Union chairperson Musa Faki. Heavy gunfire was heard in the area around the presidential palace in Nigeria's capital, Niamey, in early hours of Wednesday. The gunfire was heard at around 3 local time and lasted at least 15 minutes before stopping, followed by a small armed fire. Local residents said the situation remained confused and the city is on high alert. The shooting took place less than 48 hours after, ahead of the inauguration of newly elected President Mohamed Bazoum. The government has yet to react to these events. The International Criminal Court will on Wednesday rule on whether to hold the acquittal of Ivorian former President Laurent Gbagbo and his former youth leader Charles Biri were charged in connection with the post-electoral violence in the West African nation more than a decade ago. The 2010 post-election violence fell when Mr. Gbagbo, who been in power for a decade, refused to accept defeat. They were cleared of crimes against humanity in 2019. The prosecution appeared against the decision to clear Gbagbo, arguing that there were procedural errors in how the original verdict was delivered and insisting thousands of documents and 96 witnesses presented during the trial had proved his guilt beyond reasonable doubt. South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday night delayed his speech to allow people to watch the final bulletin of a veteran journalist. The Souza newscaster Nkosi Grumbum had been working for the South African Broadcasting Corporation for 37 years. President Ramaphosa described her as outstanding journalist. The president delayed his speech for 30 minutes, the same amount of time Ms. Bazoum's last bulletin took. Ordinarily, the president's speech gets priority over the rest of the television programming and is aired alive. Thousands of young people in Tunisia young people have been demanding change as they strive to live in the ship and post-revolution era. Police in Tanzania fired tear gas at protesters demanding more jobs opportunity. Clashes broke out in the southern state of Tunisia when police moved the desperate demonstrators who were trying to storm a government building. Witnesses say some in the crowd threw rocks at the police. A private hospital in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, has halted COVID-19 vaccinating, citing lack of supply, despite the government having more than 1 million doses. Aga Khan Hospital announced it will resume vaccination once it gets more supplies from the government, the health ministry said on Tuesday. Look at this one. Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritania, Ethiopia confirmed their places at next year's Nations Cup final in Cameroon, where this Liberia national team. Nearly 20 people are now known to have been killed in Southern Sudan, Eastern Equatorial State, Western Kivu. Louis Longan Loral survived an attack by heavily armed youth from the Bay community on Monday evening, his press secretary has said. The Southern African government has banned the sale of takeaway alcohol over the weekend Easter holiday to prevent a surge in coronavirus infections. President Cyril Ramaphosa have said alcohol had a role in encouraging negligent behavior. Bars and restaurants may still serve drinks. Religious gatherings have also been restricted to 50%. Coronavirus transmission is relatively low in South Africa after a second wave spark in general. Alcohol ban have been imposed several times throughout the pandemic. Over 4.2 million cases of COVID-19 across the continent called Africa. Thousands with free couple double variant predicts the United Nations there in Mozambique. According to the UN, Mozambique is on a knife edge with its Cobadian insurgency. The Mozambican city of Pamba, the capital of Northern Cabo province, awaits the arrival of potentially thousands of people who fled an attack by Islamic State-linked militants on the time of Pamba near the Tanzania border. But several thousands of people remain behind looking for a way out of the conflict. The Islamic State group on Monday released a video pursuing that to show fighters near the strategic northeastern Mozambican time. And before we go to take our break, in Latin America, political crisis and COVID-19 surge rocked Brazil. President Bolsonaro left, reading after a deadly record in deaths and the restriction and the resignation of the military chiefs. Mexico president said the mother of two from El Salvador had been brutally treated and murdered. Where are we heading as a country, as a people, as a nation, and the world at large? On this wonderful day, let's take this very wonderful break. As soon as we come back, we'll move you into our hot talk this afternoon. Many our young people future the government need to pass the drugs law. Thank you so much. Vine F. Bauer say good morning. He said good afternoon, brother. Following from Central Monrovia. Joseph Kroman say hello, cool family. And I'm Joseph UK Kroman joining you from Europe, Cyprus. And Adira's with my address G guide from my area, Baba Time, Rapathy Highway, watching you live. Qualify M. Bao say good afternoon, Mr. Brooks, and I'm joining you from Rockline. Thanks you and make you. Thomas F. as usually say, added you run the day of the run you. I'm Thomas F. Zeze watching live for Kokata. Thanks for the show. Aaron Cooper say good afternoon, Wiki Brooks. And I'm Cooper, proud member of the People's Liberation Party, and I do join you from Pinsville Light. Boys time, Dwasson parking. Let's keep on the fight as we strive to improve our mother's line. Thank you so much. And Marky Sir said good afternoon, cool event, and I'm watching from Tupotro. Mahan Tuawali said good afternoon, cool family and friends. I joined from Basel time. Afriso Aaron B. Baji say good afternoon, Mr. Bro, and I'm watching you from Amagashi community. Vani Aliyu Pan Jr. say good afternoon, Mr. Brooks, and I'm watching you from Dwazon City. John T. Marvolo say good afternoon, Mr. Brooks, and I'm watching live from Dwazon Peace community in Mikey County. Is the LT authority telling us that we will pay high fees in communication and internet service? Then where are we heading? Thanks for the program. And this one comes from Alex Domian. Say, I'm Alex Domian watching you live on Iso community. Joe M. The Joe M. Vanja calling say, good afternoon, Mr. Brooks. And I'm Joe M. Vanja watching you from Fender community. Honorable Sayon Sylvester Smith say, good afternoon, Mr. Brooks. Watching live from Transit my area, Painesville City, Maserati County, District 6. Benjamin Garwood said, good afternoon, cool online. And I'm watching from the most beautiful DeLone Avenue, Stephen Tuber Estate. See, Roosevelt Clear, Jonas from River says, this afternoon, say, good afternoon, Mr. Weekie Brooks, and the peace-loving people of our motherland, Liberia. Brother, I'm watching you from the peace-loving and County, Sister City District number 2. Thank for this great afternoon program. Thank you so much to all of the folks for joining the conversation on this wonderful day. You've been sending all of your text messages coming up on our cool online platform, and all of those things we need to talk about. And that's why we're back here as usual, giving you the headlines across Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. That's why the heat is always around to make sure undiluted truth are told on this platform. G. Uriah Somerville Jr. said, good afternoon, Mr. Brooks. And I Uriah Somerville Jr. watching your live, the People's Republic of Toy Housing Community. Thanks for the program. Thank you so much as well to all of you who joined in the conversation on this wonderful, wonderful day. Anyone come from welcome. Say good afternoon, Mr. Brooks. I am Wanda T. Johnson Sr. and watching you from Joe By. Sawa Zuba Colley say good afternoon, Mr. Brooks, and I'm Sawa Zuba Colley watching you from Johnsonville community. Thank you so much to all of you for joining the conversation on this wonderful, wonderful afternoon as we talk the talk and walk the walk on this day. So, you know, on tomorrow, calling to the Liberia Telecommunication Authority and in consultation with we have Orange and Lone Star Cell MTN. We have a new price. The prices will increase in voice and data calls as well. So you should get ready to know that how you will start it. And this is not something called All Fools Day. This is not All Fools Day. This is a reality, and this is what's going to happen. So the president have said, he said, has given you, most of the time people complain, oh, the president have not give, he did not give agenda, and we saw he did not promise anything. We did not hear campaign promises, but this is what the president said. The president said, Grand Cape Mount County, the president has hinted his plan to develop the country will be unveiled during his second term in office. He said, the time for me to develop Liberia will be unveiled in my second term. So what all the people have been speaking, fight of the projects are being undertaken by the president. And so he been clear to tell you that, look, I will tell you exactly in 2023, my plan to develop this country. So these are our projects that are ongoing in Liberia. So thank you so much. You know, many of times, our people who are less fortunate, physically challenged, visually impaired, and all of these things, they are faced with too many problems. When this government came into power, I remember this evil community requesting to the president, say, Mr. President, for every 100 person you appoint, if you can just take one person from our disabled community, we will be happy. Because the fact there are people who are physically challenged, visually impaired, they are educated, they are capable of saving this country in various capacities. But that is not our focus. How many military agencies look at structures being erected, and you get to know what are they being in the plan. Steps, no elevator, people bragging, beating their chest, building universities around here. Go and see. They built it, we've all been sending it to the challenges faced by our mothers and sisters, brothers, uncles who are physically challenged. What are we now putting aside from the national cupboards directly for these people? We got all of the gambling companies around here. They all here. The people pay taxes. We got alcoholic beverages coming in this country. What are they doing to improve the lives of the people? Tobacco companies are in this country. There are things that our people who are physically challenged should be benefiting. In other countries, that's how. Entertainment center and the rest of the folks. We are running Liberia and not considering these people. To be disabled in Liberia, you must be a beggar. And this is something that is so much long. It's an age-old problem, but nobody seems to be proffering that. People doing campaign, telling, yeah, any people will go and vote for you. What are we doing? Look at our first branch of government. All of our lawmakers are people who are physically fit. Check around the world. People in wheelchairs. They are senator, representative. People who are visually impaired. They are leading their countries, their communities, and other places. What are we doing with these people? Have we now concluded that they do not belong in our society? Even getting the stimulus package to them is a problem. We see these things, we hear these things, we overlook it. And we think we're doing well. People are only on this. We're just concerned about a gambling company coming to Liberia just to be established and registered, and you are not taking, because people increase these things to direct the funds to a particular sector. President Weah spoke of the fight, 25% deduction and benefit in the salary. Where is it being directed? Nobody knows. Nobody willing to talk. Different kinds of cigarettes are brought into the country on a daily basis. Our brothers and sisters are smoking it. Our disabled community are not benefiting anything from this. We are building structures. Where are the safe homes for our disabled people? Our nurses and doctors are not even benefiting from these things. The risks not being involved into this model. You got all of the different betting companies. What's the benefit to our disabled people? Our people who are visually impaired, you call them blind people, which is wrong to just call it. People who are physically challenged, you call them crippled people. We building schools. We are not even having it in our plans. Government cannot even boast of a single school for these people. Vocational institutions. We do not even have private schools, and public schools do not even have space for these people. When we should have teachers who should be teaching these people there. People who are trained. Our deaf and dumb should be in school as well. The taxes collected, they deserve it as well. They should not be begging for it. We are passing laws and leaving them out. We are doing things and not having it into our plans. But it's about us, because today, a lot of them were not born like that. Some were caused by accident. Some, it was because of the war. The same group of people that you are electing today were the ones who had these people in the condition they found themselves. They put them in such a condition, so they're fighting the way out. With more concern, you hear lawmakers debating, bringing out issue. Out of the energy and zest you took to suspend Yege for 4 months, should have been 4 hours used to discuss the betterment of our disabled people, our adults. We're lacking behind. We run a government where you cannot even see 1% disabled people into government, into position. Go to our ministry agency. Check other countries, follow them. You'll be surprised to see people in wheelchair who is a minister. You'll be surprised to see somebody who's in wheelchair is director. You'll be surprised to see somebody in the parliament who cannot see but making sound decisions for the country. What sort of country is this that there are categories of people who we think in our society? What are we treating them like this? They have been reduced to beggars. We do not even have planes. People who are mentally retarded go and look in the streets and see the number of people who have gone mad out of frustration, other things. No planes for them. All of the places, entertainment centers, cannot even accommodate these people. When you sit in places, you see the people coming, you hear people, no, not here today, go on, sir. And we overlook this thing. Today they are in their condition. You could be in that same position tomorrow. What is the national government agenda for these people? What are we leaving in behind? What is allotted? Some of them, they've been thrown out of places that they've been dwelling for a period of time. This is not just government. Opposition political leaders, what are you doing to help these people? Some of these people sweat and blood while they are in their wheelchairs. They massively campaign, they recruit and tell people, look, are we looking back to that? Are we talking about it? Are we talking about it? Have we been able to put ourselves into the shoe? What are we doing? Everybody passing, yeah, the person got money, the person got money. Since the last time President Weah went to the street and gave our brothers who we bring in Azogo 5,000, and noise came out, all of these things, what has been it? What impact did that make? Where are the schools, government building for the disabled in this country? The threatened protest action to get a stimulus package when these are people who should have been afraid. These are vulnerable people. We leave it in behind too much. Somebody may say I'm sounding like an advocate today for the yes, so indeed. They are Liberians. We are no better than them. And we are not being physically challenged in Liberia. You know right mean that somebody who was physically fit is more Liberian than you. That is not possible. Political institutions. These people are huge in number. They can get you across the line and put you at the summit of power in this country. What are we not thinking about it? There are a lot of taxes, a lot of tariffs placed on some things in this country. If government can just focus on saying, look, we will send this to the disabled community, you will be empowering a lot of them. Today, some of the people, because he or she cannot see, the kids do not go to school. They walk them from business centers to another business center, from homes and other places, and they grow up without knowledge and to do anything at the end result, because you have to take your mother or father, uncle, who is visually impaired, to the next vast supermarkets, mini mart, other places. There will be no time to sit in class. So these people are growing up without any knowledge. When was the last time that was a serious issue? Which one of the lawmakers were able to cover such ideas on the floor and say, look, we need to discuss how do we handle. You will not solve all of the problems, but you be part of your national agenda. Somebody would say, even those who are physically fit, government it treated them, they go months with all salary. What more about those people who cannot see, hear, talk, can walk? We all look these things. These are all when they, people do not even understand. At times when international partners are writing a report and talking about the poor human right record for Liberia, you think is there no the opposition and the journalists that this, you are violating the rights. You are certainly violating all budget a huge amount for these people. They are in government. They are making decisions. So if a man who cannot see, a woman who cannot walk, decide to get in a race, decide want to contest to be representative of their district or senator of their county, you become a laughing stock among the people. Because yet they're asking, go to our Capitol building, see how it is built. It's built for people who can walk, who can see. Elevator on today, tomorrow out, off. Look around and see what's happening. So I'm here to talk about the disabled community. People gambling all over the place. How much money you taking away from that to make sure alcohol? Every day you see new alcohol on the market. Are you adding something on it? Businesses in established institutions running. We care less for these people. You're doing pick and choose in the midst of all of that. They're fighting away. They're trying to get there. They want to see a better Liberia. When will we make a decision in Liberia and say, yeah, we will have people in the world say, yeah, let people sit down and say, yeah, oh, but they country the poor already. That's true. When are we going to have it? We are building institutions, we are leaving them out. You hear people, oh, they defend and respond, the new party, you forming new party and other things. And you use these people to buy public sentiment, like the People Liberation Party. During the official launch and opening of the headquarters, they had our disabled people, visually impaired people at the front of you to make them to understand that I'm in your interest. And people say, oh, but this person means well. You're using them to get your political grade. You want to score a high political mark at the expense of our disabled people. Why are you treating the people like this? What did they do to you? That today we're more concerned check other countries. Disabled politicians, leaders in Liberia. When you are disabled, just know that it's over for you. Just know. In Afghanistan, Mohammed Omar, a Taliban leader and former head of state, lost due to a sharp injury. In Argentina, Dinah Scotty, a former vice president and current governor of Argentina's largest and biggest province, in 1989 lost his right arm in an accident while racing on the Parana River. Go to Australia. You see, Botak Palm, former member of the Western Australian Legislative Caucus. Grey Edward, former member of the Parliament of Cora, lost both legs during Vietnam War, but people still saw him as somebody to be in power. George McGregor, early 20th century, Labour federal senator. He was blind. Senator, he was blind. You got Kelly Vensey, member of Australian Legislative Caucus. Rob Payne, member of the Queensland Legislative Assembly. These are individuals. Hun Sen, Prime Minister, blind in one eye due to a war wound in Cambodia. What are we doing? How are we taking these people? Where are we placing them? You look all around. You see these people in other countries and you say, I can't believe it. You mean these people will have such a person? Can you imagine? Look around and see. There are others who can see in one eyes, all of them, and others who can see with two. What are we doing to have these people incorporated into our society? We got Ministry of Health. Where is the social welfare aspect of it? Ministry of Gender. What are they doing to have Ministry of Youth and Sports? Go to the vocational schools here. What are you doing to teach those who cannot see? How many of our young kids who cannot see know how to read and write from the bride? How many? Where is Liberia's first visually impaired doctor? Go to the University of Liberia, go to other universities and see the challenges and see there's no means of accommodating the people. What you need to do, you need to stop it. Because with all what you do, you just can't stop these people. But let me take this break. When I come back, I'll open the lines because the line is already busted this afternoon. But you just can't stop it. And the part of the
people who there, they are all Africans. And they are capacitated to work in a position in this country. And we are looking down on them. And that's the reason why some of us, we look at them. For me, I see a visionary there or a disabled person like a normal person to me. For how many of us they existed for, which is take a show of can't realize. The one that pains me, the one that baffles me most, is those children who are with them in a street begging. What became of them tomorrow? Are they now Liberian? These are questions that we should be asking the opposition. These are questions that we should be asking the ruling government. How are you doing or what are you doing to have these children in school? Come and see children in a street school. Some of them, their parents are disabled, but they have to come in the street. They serve them.
Yeah, some of them, they were so small, and their parents were taking them around, because you have to direct the person. The fact that you can see at the end of the day, people started to abuse especially those young boys and girls who were